9, 10 to go to practice.
Well, every old person likes to get that early bird special. That's what I've been told. I'm not going to confirm that to all our old viewers out there.
They need their prune juice.
But okay. Well, Kevin Garnett, right now you're just gonna have to settle for being the really fly-looking guy at the end of the bench. I can respect that. Now we're gonna end it with the Bruins.
The Bruins.
Now up 2-0.
Yeah, baby.
I'm happy right now.
The Habs suck.
No, we don't say the word Habs in here. Now, so guys, how do we feel about this?
Well, I mean, I think this is the first time in a long time that we've had the advantage over the Canadians in both talent and size. I mean, in the past 31 series, this is the 32nd, we've only won like 7 of them.
We've only won 7, that's confirmed.
Yeah, okay. We've only won 7. I mean, that just shows how we have not been performing as we should have. But now we have more fight in us, as we saw with Bergie. Bergie, that one left uppercut, boom.
I knew my boy Bergeron had some fight in him, But also looking through it, you have a solid Vezina Trophy winning goalie. I think he's going to be a Vezina. And Tim Thomas,
I agree with
Norris
that,
Trophy
definitely.
candidate in Zdeno Chara, and you got that 1, 2, and 3 center, and you got all these centers like David Krejci, Phil Kessel, and Mark Savard, guys that are going to be putting it in back and forth.
And you have some good wingers like Mark Recchi, Patrice Bergeron, and
Michael Ryder,
and Milan Lucic, who are all really good. And this is the first year that we could be a real Stanley Cup candidate.
Yeah, it's good to see that this specific rivalry is coming back, because this is one of the storied rivalries of the NHL. And another thing is that the Bruins are winning these games handily, not by like 1 goal.
Yeah,
they're winning these games by multiple goals. So it's good to
5-1
see
and 4-2.
that this rivalry is coming back. For the Bruins.
It's good for hockey. It's good for everybody. Marcus, that was nice to hear from you. And Jonathan,
yeah.
Always a pleasure. Here at the Fact Talk Studios, this is Nick Heiler. We're throwing it over to Dan Shulman to what he thinks about the Bruins.
Hi, I'm Dan Shulman, and let me tell you why the Bruins will win the Stanley Cup. First, defense wins championships. The Bruins' D is phenomenal. Zdeno Chara, the tallest player in the NHL, continues to score goals and intimidate the opposition. Throw in the fact that he is the fastest slap shot in the NHL, all goalies fear his skill. Aaron Ward and Dennis Wideman give the Bruins depth on the blue line. That depth was apparent last night when Matt Hunwick lost his spleen, and Shane Knighty filled in admirably and scored a goal. Second, with Tim Thomas between the pipes, opponents will have a lofty task of getting the puck in the net. Thomas has been the #1 goaltender in the NHL for most of the year, with a 2.10 goals against average. His save percentage was one of the tops in the league, saving 93% of the shots against him. Lastly, their blend of veterans and young players is also to fear. A veteran like Mark Recchi will help put the puck in the net. A young player like David Krejci creates chemistry between Blake Wheeler and Michael Ryder. In conclusion, with all 3 of these characteristics, the Bruins make Boston a hockey town again. The Bruins may be the most feared team in the playoffs. This gives the Bruins their best chance to win a Stanley Cup, the first, in fact, since 1972. I'm Dan Shulman for YSA Sports. Now, for a look at the upcoming NFL Draft, let's go to Tyler Kenny on the Back Talk set with a special guest.
Hi, I'm Tyler Kenny here with Randolph Charlatan and Bobby Kravitsky. And we're here to talk about the NFL Draft. So, first off, let's go, guys. Top 5 picks.
All right, well, number 1, I think the Detroit Lions, they need a franchise quarterback. They're going with Matt Stafford. There's a lot of great quarterbacks coming out next year, but I don't see them waiting for that. I think they're going to go with Matt Stafford.
I'm not going to argue with it. I still don't think they are completely sold on Stafford, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go with an offensive tackle, which is Jason Smith from Baylor.
Well, I think it's smarter to build from your line out, like we saw the Titans do, but I still think they're going to go with the big name Matt Stafford, especially for the money you have to pay a first pick in the draft.
Number 2, St. Louis Rams. Who do you got?
I have Jason Smith because he's the best offensive lineman in the draft. The Rams have one of the worst lines in the league. They need a franchise tackle.
And the Rams also let go of Orlando Pace, who was their franchise tackle before. So
yeah, it's kind of hard to bounce back from losing Orlando Pace.
Yeah, and they already gave up a lot of sacks last year. So
and they did sign Jason Brown from the Ravens, but he's a center. So
yeah,
you definitely need some help on the outside of your line.
Number 3, the Chiefs. They got Castle. They got Vrabel. Just some of the big names. What do you think they're going to do
Well,
now?
they're going to the 3-4, and I think they look to take the best linebacker available, Aaron Curry, out of Wake Forest. And I think they look to use him to kind of revamp and revitalize that defense and instantly come in and be a leader at that position.
Yeah, Kansas City has been very busy this offseason. They've signed a lot of players, including a few Patriot players, but they are still in the process of changing that defense from a 4-3 to a 3-4. I know that most people project Curry as an outside linebacker, but I could see him switching over to the inside, line him up inside, and they can have a very good beginning of a good linebacking core.
Curry definitely has the versatility to play both outside and inside. I just think it's based on need, and the Chiefs need an outside linebacker more than they do an inside because they have Vrabel, and they recently signed Zach Thomas, who played outside with the Cowboys but is a natural inside linebacker. So I think Curry plays outside for them.
Yeah, but you have to at least admit this much. Curry right next to Derek Johnson,
That's pretty.
that would be really, really good.
No argument here. I mean, that'd be pretty impressive. And then with my fourth pick, even though it's a backup, I think the Seahawks look to build for the future. With Hasselbeck getting up there in age, they look to make the bridge and take Mark Sanchez out of USC. His stock has skyrocketed over this last week and a half, and I think that's who they go with.
Yeah, he's a lot of teams. There's some teams out there that like Sanchez better than Stafford in this draft, and he has gone from about a mid-first round pick now quite possibly to the top 5. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people project him as a first pick overall going to Detroit.
Yeah, I personally think Stafford is a less complete quarterback than Sanchez. Really, the only thing in Stafford's favor is the big arm, whereas Sanchez is much more calm in the pocket, and he's not as experienced as Stafford, but I think he's still a more complete, more refined quarterback than Stafford is.
And it's hard to argue against a player coming from the football factory of USC. They constantly are pumping out pro-level players.
Even Castle didn't even play a single down for them, and look at how he's turned out. So.
Exactly.
All right, let's go with your 5 pick, Cleveland Browns. Some people say wide receiver because of Dante Stallworth's troubles. And Braylon Edwards, possible trade. Who knows? What do you guys got?
Yeah, for a while, I did not have them taking a wide receiver, which would probably lead to Crabtree falling to the Raiders. I know they would love that. However, with the circumstances as of late, with the Stallworth sentencing and Braylon Edwards seems like he's on the move, I think they have to take Crabtree, and they need a number 1 receiver.
I guess that could be a possible scenario, and I can understand the need. But I look at the fact that you have a new coach coming in, Mangenius, so he's called. We disagree.
We didn't see that.
We disagree in here. But I can see him trying to rebuild the defense, and I have him going with B.J. Raji. Now, a lot of teams will look at the fact that they didn't get a lot of sacks last year. That's right. So some teams think that Brian Orakpo might be the pick. I thought about it, and as much as I was waffling a little bit, but I went back to Raji just because of the fact that Sean Rogers is heard that Rogers and Mangini aren't getting along very well. He's asked for a trade. Raji is a rare talent. His stock has gone up as well, and finding a very high-end 3-4 lineman is harder than finding quality linebackers for 3-4. So I think just because of the position he plays, he would be the pick. He would be the pick in Cleveland.
Well, I think Raji's stock has kind of bounced around because of the drug test reporting, and at the same time, he's easily, hands down, the most talented nose tackle and defensive lineman, even for that matter, in the draft. However, I don't think Sean Rogers is going anywhere, and I think for the Browns to be confident enough to take Raji, they would have to trade Rodgers before the draft or at the draft. I don't think there's enough time to complete a deal that they would feel comfortable doing. I think they'll take Crabtree, stick with wide receiver.
All right, we got Patriots. They have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. What do you guys think they're doing?
I don't know if it'll be there, but I would love for the Patriots to walk away with Clay Matthews with that 23rd pick. Linebacker from USC. He's versatile, can play the inside and the outside. The Patriots like that. Stick him on the outside, and I think your 3-4 set is good to go for this year. He's someone who I think can come in and play immediately from day one.
I agree with the position